Everyone knows that bullying exists. Everyone knows that bullying is horrible. Some people's lives are totally wrecked by bullying. It's awful. We know that already. And you know why? It's because normal people, like me and you, make them feel this way. Today, I want to uncover the truth about bullying and give you the tools to handle it with confidence for the rest of your life.
There was this new girl and she didn't really fit in, and she would always stand to the side and nobody really talked to her, and me and my friends would always go up to her and laugh at her and say mean things. And at the time we felt like we were better than her and we couldn't really see how it was affecting her. But then once we stopped, we see we were not very nice to her, and it really did affect her because she didn't come back the next year.
Okay, so imagine your dad saying, "Hey, you want to move to Hawaii?" I mean, what would you think? You'd be so pumped. I was pumped because my dad told me that. And so I was about to spend 5th and 6th grade living in paradise. The problem was that paradise got lost when I was in 6th grade living there. And there was these couple guys, and I'm sure if you asked them, they would say, "Oh, we were just kidding around." But I didn't take it that way. They would come up to me during class or between classes or even outside and say, "Hey, tourist, where's your camera?" And they were probably just joking, but it made me feel terrible. It made me feel like I didn't fit there. And it was day after day after day that they would do this. And here's me trying to be like this little tough guy, trying to just fit in and trying to be a man someday, and crying myself to sleep because of the way they made me feel. Now, before you go and start feeling sad for me, because that's not the point, I just want you to know one thing, is that was a long time ago in my life. But even to this day, I still remember one of those guys' names. It was Alan. Now, you might have this attitude when it comes to bullying where you think, "Oh, he knows I'm just kidding." "Oh, that kid that I mess with, he knows I'm just joking around." Or you might say, "Oh, that girl in the locker room that we make fun of, oh, she knows we're just messing with her." They probably don't know. I would think that probably they're feeling terrible because of the way you're making them feel, the way I sometimes make people feel.
I think I did it to make myself feel better because I thought that we were better than her, but we really weren't. But I just did it to make myself feel better.
There is a way for us to define this really easily, and we're going to use 3 things today. The first would be this: there is an imbalance of power. In any bullying situation, there's an imbalance of power. So picture like when you were little and went to the playground, and you're going down the slide, you're going on the jungle gyms, you're going on the swings, but there was that teeter-totter or that seesaw, okay? Yes, it goes like this. But it's this thing that you sit on either side and you go up and down, up and down. But picture an elephant on one side and a cat on the other side. That's ridiculous, I know, but that's usually what bullying looks like, is someone that is physically stronger, emotionally stronger, socially stronger, going after someone who is weaker. The second thing would be this, that there is an intent to cause harm. Bullying doesn't happen by accident. People don't just accidentally bully. It's something that is done where they want to cause pain. They want to cause harm to the other person. And then the third would be repetition, that this happens over and over and over and over and over and over, just like those guys in 6th grade with me. It was every day they were messing with me, over and over and over, and I couldn't get away from it. So there are different types of bullying too. It's not just pounding somebody. There can be verbal bullying. There can be social bullying. That's where you just like start rumors about people, or you mess up someone's reputation or their popularity, try to take them down socially. There can be emotional bullying. There can be actual physical bullying where you're actually causing someone physical harm. And then there's, of course, cyberbullying, which is the most frustrating one for so many people. Because even when you're at home, you can't avoid it. Like you're opening texts and it's something negative. And you're on Facebook and it's something negative. And you're on other social networks and it's something negative. You're just scared to even go online anymore because people are messing with you.
Well, bullying with a cell phone could be very easy. If you just don't like a person and you have their phone number, you can start texting them and say all these mean things, and if they get mad and then it turns into all-out fight on Twitter or just texting. I've said a couple things. I've sent a couple things to people that I probably shouldn't have said, and you feel a lot like braver and bigger when you're behind a phone, but in person you could just be weak and can't really look that person in the face that you were yelling at on the internet.
A few places where bullying comes from. Why do people bully in the first place? Okay, check this out. The first one would be jealousy. So maybe that person in your class has an A, you've got a C. You don't like that, you're jealous of them because they don't even try and they get an A, and you're trying so hard and you get a C. So you take it out on them verbally or physically or socially. So the second would be cultural. I mean, TV, movies, video games, music, we see it all around us, that the way to deal with people you don't like is to squash them, verbally, physically, socially. Another would be a power trip. Like maybe you're in a position of power, maybe you're just super popular, maybe your family has a lot of money, maybe your dad's famous, I don't know. But you have this power trip and you have this need to prove to the people around you that you're powerful, that you're the big dog. So you need to take that out on someone else just to prove that you are powerful, that you are big, that you are bad. So it's a power trip sometimes. Another one would be that it comes from family. Maybe back home, you see this. Like maybe you see your dad being mean to your mom. Maybe you see your mom being mean to her sister. Maybe you see your uncle being mean to your brother. I don't know, but some people see this at home and then they go, oh, well that's how you're supposed to deal with people that you don't like. You mess with them, you try to squash them. And another place would just be control. So a lot of times you might bully someone when you're feeling out of control in a lot of major areas in your life. So here's an example. You're at home, your mom always tells you what time to get up, what time to go to bed, what time to do your homework, when to take a shower, how long your shower should be, when you're going to practice, what sport you're gonna play, write a letter to grandma. I mean, it's just boom, your whole day is planned out and you don't really feel like you have that much control over your life. So you think, well, let me control someone else. Let me find someone weaker than me physically or mentally weaker than me, and I'm gonna control them. Here's the truth about human beings, is that we have issues with each other. do you honestly think some people say, "Oh, let's end bullying forever"? Do you actually think that's possible?
No.
There's no possible
Why?
Because always someone's going to be bullying.
Yeah.
Someone's always.
Just like how like there can't be world peace, you know? Just somebody will
World
always.
peace is impossible.
Someone's
Yeah.
always gonna have an issue.
Someone's going to have
sounds-
a problem with someone else.
Yeah.
Always.
Someone's always gonna put someone else down to make themselves feel better.
That's good. We all have opinions. We all are raised in different cultures. We're raised in different homes, different styles. We have different opinions and thoughts. And so if we can't ever end bullying, what I think we can do, tell me if I'm right, is that we can help people who are either the victims of it, people who see it happen, or people that are actually doing the bullying. We can help them understand how pointless bullying actually is.
A couple years ago, there was a couple guys and they were writing mean stuff about me, and they put it into a song, and everyone was like laughing at me and staring at me, and I didn't really know at the time what they were talking about because I hadn't seen the song they had written about me. So I kind of like was feeling like embarrassed, and I felt like left out because no one would talk to me, but I didn't know why, because it was kind of just like all of a sudden, and none of my friends would like tell me what was going on, kind of to like protect my feelings and stuff. And then like one kid like gave me a copy of the songs because like someone that I actually thought was my friend was writing copies of it and handing it out to like embarrass me. And it really made me feel bad about myself. That happened 2 years ago, and I still feel bad about myself because of that.
People like to give excuses for why they bully. So one of those would be, well, they deserve it. They deserve it. And there's people that say that about you, and they'll bully you, and they say, oh, well, you deserved it. Nothing could be further from the truth. You don't deserve it. You don't deserve any of that coming at you. They're taking something out on you that you don't deserve. But they'll say, oh, but you deserved it. They'll say like, oh, he had it coming, or something like that. Something terrible like that. It's just an excuse for horrible behavior. One other excuse that bullies will often make is, well, I was just joking. And I know sometimes there's just like such a fine line, and it's hard to find it sometimes. I know, I've been there so many times on the bottom side of bullying, on the top side of bullying, where it was just played off as, oh, we're just joking around, we're just messing, we're just kidding. But I think very easily things go towards bullying, especially when it's over and over and over and over. Real quick, we would leave school for lunch. It was pretty awesome. So they would let us leave school for lunch. We had a super long lunch break. They would let us leave. So for a while, I went with my friend Danny and Mike to Danny's house to eat lunch. We walk like 10 minutes away from school and eat lunch at his house, just pig out in his kitchen and walk back to school. For some reason, at some point, they decided it would be awesome to start picking these gigantic red berries off of some bush on the way there and on the way back and peg me with them. I mean, just pelt me with them. Just like over and over and over. And I would walk on the other side of the street. I would run behind cars. I would dodge them. I would run ahead, and I would laugh it off. But it got so old. And then sometimes I would say to Mike, hey, let's get Danny today. Yeah, we're gonna get him. And he would never go along with it. It would always be, oh yeah, okay, and then just start throwing them at me again. It was so frustrating. So frustrating. But they would probably say, yeah, but we were just kidding. We were just messing around. It made me feel like garbage. It made me feel like I was not in the cool crowd, that I was the one they were pushing away, that I was the one they were stepping on to make themselves feel better. But they would have said, we were just joking around. And then the last one simply is, oh, but they started it. They looked at me weird. They did this to me. She's dating my ex. So she started it, and she deserves this. Nothing could be further from the truth if you are the victim of bullying. I mean, come on. No one, you included, me included, deserves to be bullied. No one. No one. So this whole thing about, oh, she started it? Come on. Come on.
The people who wrote that song about me, I talked to them as if they were my friends, and at the time, when I'm talking to them, they are my friends, I forget that they wrote that song about me, and then when I walk away, I'm like, oh yeah, they said all that mean stuff about me. Why would I put myself with them, you know?
When I was in high school, there was a big, massive surfer guy in my school. I won't say his name. All right, his name was Cody. Cody was in my art class. And so one day, I have about the biggest zit you could imagine on the back of my neck. It was like a small mountain. And I went to school with, I'm not kidding, with a turtleneck shirt, hoping that no one would see my giant zit on the back of my neck. And I made it almost the whole day of school. But here I am in art class, and I'm leaning over my desk. And so you could see the zit. I didn't know. But Cody decides to walk across the room. He walks right behind me and goes, "Hey, Mike, did you know you got a giant zit on the back of your neck?" And I was crushed because everyone in class looks at me, starts pointing, laughing. "Oh, what a loser, big giant zit boy." I was so frustrated, but that guy was massive. He made it his goal in life at my school to terrorize people. I was scared of him, and I didn't want to go to art class the next day because I didn't want to face him. He also made up songs that he would get the whole class to start singing along with about the fact that I had never had a girlfriend. He made up a song about me. This guy, over and over and over, day after day, made it his goal to make my life miserable. So when we deal with bullying, there are two things we normally do. And this is psychology 101 right here. We either fight or we take off. It's called fight or flight response. And this is what our brains do when we encounter stress and we go, "Ah!" When we think something's coming at us that's gonna hurt us, either mentally, emotionally, physically, we'll either display flight, like where we take off with our tail between our legs, or fight, where we put up our dukes, roll up our sleeves, and dig our feet in the ground, and we say, "Bring it." Or we start screaming at them, we start cussing at them, we start slugging them, we start throwing things. Or we run. Almost every time I would run. When I was messed with, when I was bullied growing up, I would run. I never stood up to bullies. Ever. I never dug my heels in and stood up straight and said, "Bring it." I just would run. I'd put my head down and I would just disappear and try to avoid them. That's what we usually do, fight or flight. But I want to talk about a way that we can handle bullying where it actually begins to stop in our lives, or in the lives of the people around us when we see it happening. Whether you are getting bullied or whether you are a bystander, here's how to handle bullying like a hero. So we're just gonna break this down with the letters H-E-R-O. Here we go. H, hold your head high. Too many people put their head down and just keep taking it. You need to hold your head high. You need to be confident or just pretend like you're confident. Very rarely do people get bullied when they are more confident than the bully. So you start just holding your head high. Be strong. Be proud of yourself. Stand up straight. Look people in the eye. If you're a bystander, here's the thing. Bullying, about 85% of the time that there's a bullying situation, either online or in person, someone sees it. 85% of the time, someone's watching. That's called a bystander. So if you are the bystander, do the right thing. Hold your head high and say, hey, this isn't how we roll here at our school. This isn't how we roll on our team. This isn't how we roll in our group of friends. This isn't how we do things. And you do the thing that you wish someone would do for you, which is stand up and try to smooth it out and get involved and step in the middle of things. You would want someone to do that for you. So if you're the bystander, do that. If you're getting bullied, hold your head high. If you're a bystander, hold your head high. So there's a point when walking away and not engaging in the bullying situation, or someone wants to fight you, whatever, there's a time when actually walking away shows that you are actually stronger and not soft. But it's when you hold your head down and you shrink away, I think that's where you might show yourself to be soft or a coward or something. But you hold your head high and you say, I'm not going to be a part of this. E stands for empathize. Empathize. You know what that means? It's trying to find out what makes someone tick. So if you're being bullied, or if you are a bystander, you see it happening, you go, hey, what's going on here? Why is this happening? If you're being bullied, just look that bully in the face and say, I'm not sure what's going on. I'm not sure why you're taking this out on me. You having a hard day, bro? You having a hard time? What's up? You need to talk about something? I'm here. Empathy. I'm not saying any of these things are easy to do. What I'm saying is they work to make you feel like a hero and to bring you above the bullying situation. And if you're a bystander, this is proven strategies of how to make it stop if you see it happening. Empathize. So if you're a bystander, you see one person getting bullied, you see someone else as the bully, you take the time to step in there and say, hey, what's going on? Why is this happening? Why are you doing this to her? Why are you making her feel this way? I don't get it. You dealing with something right now? Because we can talk. Talk it out. Empathize. Try to see what they're struggling with. Maybe they've got stuff going on inside them. Maybe they've got stuff going on at home or at school or on their sports team that they are just crushed by. They don't have an outlet. So they're taking it out on someone else. Take the time to get to know someone and listen. Maybe they don't have anyone in their life that's even listening to them. Empathize.
I think it's possible to help someone out that's getting bullied online. If you just, if you identify what's happening and maybe text the person who's doing the bullying and say, well, why are you saying this? What do you have against them? And then text the person who's getting bullied and say, how are you feeling? Are you okay? Don't try and bully back or, yell at them. Just be confident and remember who you are.
So the R in hero would stand for remember. Remember that your value has really nothing to do with what a bully says about you or how they treat you. So if someone says, you're a loser, well, remember that you're actually not. You have no friends, well, remember that you actually do. No one likes you, well, people actually do like you. Remember that your value as a human being has nothing to do with what this person says about you or what they do to you. It has nothing. It actually says more about them and the way they think about themselves than it does about you. But to remember that you have value, you have to surround yourself with people who are actually dumping value into your life, that they are believing in you, they are supporting you, they are accepting you. And sometimes that's as simple and it's just hanging out with your grandma on the weekend. Because at least your grandma doesn't make fun of your shoes, and your grandma doesn't make fun of your haircut. Your grandma doesn't make fun of the fact that you wear glasses and you got braces and that you got cut from the team. Your grandma doesn't care about those things. Hang out with grandma. Hang out with somebody who accepts you exactly the way you are. Someone who encourages you, someone who pushes you to be your best, to do your best. And then you start spending time and tuning in to these positive voices, people that are building you up. And then when you hear this crazy stuff coming from people saying negative things about you, it's so easy to remember because you spend time with people that are like that are encouraging you. So remember your value when you hear these negative things or when people treat you negatively. So you guys think there is actually a time when walking away is the right thing to do?
I think so. I just think that if you're going to, it's all in your mannerisms and how you do it and how you're holding yourself together and making yourself look like you have confidence even if you don't, but walk out like you actually own the place and don't feel down about yourself.
The O in hero, simple. Outstretch your hand. Outstretch your hand. What does that mean? When someone's being cruel to you, when someone's repeatedly being mean to you, bullying you, physically, emotionally, socially, you stretch out your hand. You say, hey, let's get this right. I'm over this. I'm done with this. We're not getting anywhere. But I'm over it. And I want to stretch out my hand toward you and say, either we can be friends and we can work this out, or I'm done. Hey, if they don't want to take your hand, if they don't want to squash it, whatever's going on, that's on them. What can you really change in life? Can you change somebody else? It's actually impossible. And it's exhausting to try to change other people. We try to do it all the time. But you know what we can change is us. The way we think, the way we act, the choices we make. That's what you can change. So you can hold your head high. You can empathize with them. You can remember that your value does not have anything to do with the things they're saying to you or the way they're treating you. And you can outstretch your hand and be the bigger man, the bigger woman in that situation. And if they don't want anything to do with it, that's on them. You move on. The life you've always wanted is right in front of you. It's right in front of you. But you have to grab it. You have to grab it. A great life doesn't happen by accident. It happens because you decide you want it to happen. You decide you're sick of being just status quo with your life. And you say, no, I'm going to live the life that I want to live. I'm going to live the life of my dreams. I'm going to feel great about my life. But remember, it doesn't happen just by accident. It happens because you choose different things. You choose different ways to think. You choose different friends. You choose different voices to tune into. You choose different ways to deal with things. You choose to not cheat in school anymore. You choose to be cool with your parents. You choose to come home on time. You choose to show up to school early. You choose to study for your test. See that? Like if you want your life to be the life you've always wanted it to be, it's right in front of you. You just have to grab it. You just have to grab it. You just need to start walking in the shoes of a hero, because that's what you already are. I want to make sure that if you are being bullied to the point where it is physically affecting you, where it is mentally causing you damage, I mean, it's bad, you have to involve somebody. You have to tell somebody. I know sometimes it seems like snitching, or it seems like telling on somebody. Oh, I don't want to be a goody-goody like that. I don't want to ask for help. Hey, I got an email one time from a high school senior football player guy who said, hey, I'm being messed with by my parents and I don't know what to do about it anymore. Physically, this guy was being assaulted. And I said, you have to tell somebody. You have to, because I was now thinking about this kid's safety. If you are being bullied to that level, you have to involve somebody, most likely an adult, that can help you get past this and get over this if it's really not stopping. And also, if you use this hero method, this strategy that I've shared with you, which I hope you do, at least try it. I've heard from so many people that have tried this and they say, Mike, it works. And I go, I know it works. It helps so much. If you do this, would you let me know? Just go on my website, micahspeaking.com, and share that story with me. That would mean so much to me, to know that you are actually overcoming bullying, or you were bystander and you actually did this hero method and that it worked and it helped squash a bullying situation. Thanks, guys.